In this tutorial, we'll go over the do while loop. Previously, we covered the standard while loop, and the syntax is as shown on the screen. Remember, the while loop continues running until the condition inside the parentheses becomes false. So if this conditional statement is false, then the program will skip this loop entirely and run line 11 instead. However, if this is true, this while loop will continue to run until this conditional statement becomes false after decrementing the counter by 1 for every iteration. So let's run and see what the output would show for the standard while loop. 4, 3, 2, 1, as expected. Now, what if we initialize the counter to 0 as shown on line 5, but still want to run the first iteration regardless of the condition? With a standard while loop, this isn't possible because the loop checks the condition first. If the condition is false, it skips the loop entirely. But we can achieve this with a do while loop. Let me create the syntax for the do while loop. We move this while syntax from here to the bottom on line 9 and be sure to add a semicolon as shown. On line 7, where the while syntax was, we type in do. This is the syntax for the do while loop. When we enter the do while loop, the program executes the printf or any other statement first. At the end of this loop or iteration, the program will check the conditional statement. If this conditional statement is false, then it will execute line 11. However, if the conditional statement is true, then it will keep running until this becomes false for this conditional statement. So the way that we have this code set up is that we're only going to see this printf be executed once because counter is 0 and 0 is not greater than 0. So let's build and run to see the output. Counter is 0 as expected. If I change this back to 4, then let's see what the output is. 4, 3, 2, 1 as expected. Just like in the while loop, we can also use the break statement or the continue statement. Remember that the break statement exits the loop immediately regardless of the conditional statement here. And also remember that continue means that we want to skip until the next iteration from line 9. It doesn't make sense to have a continue statement here now in this example because it's at the end of the iteration and there's no additional logic to perform beyond line 9 within this loop. But just remember that continue skips to the next iteration. That concludes the do while loop tutorial. Thank you.